Kwaku was just 21, a tall, slim, charming young man whose smile alone could melt hearts. On campus, he wasn't the wealthiest or the most brilliant, but he had something most boys lacked: a sharp tongue, a smooth presence, and an unshakable desire for luxury. Kwaku wanted more than books and lectures. He craved the soft life: designer sneakers, fine colognes, the latest iPhone, and the kind of respect that made people call you boss. And then came Madame Clarissa. Please, before we go on, I'd like to kindly ask that you subscribe to the channel, please, like the video, and drop a comment. I would really appreciate. Also, the later part of the story holds some really juicy and shocking details, so you might want to stay till the end. Thank you. Madame Clarissa was 45, a woman seasoned in the language of money. She had touched it, rolled in it, and built empires with it. Her businesses flourished, her cars lined her garage, and her mansion in Hillside Estate gleamed like royalties. She wasn't just rich, she was elegance personified, always dressed in silk or lace, heels clicking with authority. Her aura filled every room she entered. She was older, yes, but Clarissa possessed what no girl on campus could offer: power, confidence, and the intoxicating control that comes with success. When Kwaku met her, sparks flew, but not just of attraction, of opportunity. For her, he was young, fresh, and full of energy, exactly what her lonely nights longed for. For him, she was nothing short of a golden key to a locked vault. Very quickly, she spoiled him. It wasn't just pocket change. Clarissa paid his tuition for the entire year. She bought him a sleek Toyota, rented him a furnished apartment far nicer than the cramped hostels his classmates shared, and loaded his closet with designer shirts, sneakers, perfumes, and gold watches. Kweku's life transformed overnight. But Clarissa was no fool. She laid her cards on the table. "Kwaku, I'm giving you all this because you belong to me. After you graduate, you'll marry me. No other girl. No excuses. I'm investing in my future, not just yours." Kwaku nodded, smiled, kissed her hand, and said, "Of course, baby. You're the only one." But in his heart, he never meant a word. To him, she was just a walking bank account. He thought he was clever enough to enjoy the wealth, play along, and then walk away once he was satisfied. And so the arrangement began. The same boy who once begged friends for airtime was now popping bottles in nightclubs. The same boy who once wore fake sneakers now strutted around campus in limited edition Jordans. Girls flocked around his car, whispering "Chairman Kwaku," like he was royalty. Life was sweet. Life was gold. And it was all thanks to Clarissa. But here's the thing about power: it's never equal. Kwaku thought he was in control. But Clarissa, too, believed she owned the game. In her mind, money wasn't just generosity, it was chains. She reminded him constantly, "Don't embarrass me. Don't even think about chasing these little campus girls. Remember, I'm the reason you're living like this." And Kwaku would grin, hug her waist, and whisper, "Never, baby. You're the only one." But that was only the beginning of a dangerous game. One built on lies, control, greed, and obsession. At first, Kwaku played the part perfectly. Whenever she called, he answered. Whenever she summoned him, he came running. He whispered sweet nothings, played the loyal boyfriend role so well that Clarissa believed she had him locked. But deep inside, Kwaku was restless. He was only 21, with charm, a car, money to spend, and girls who eyed him like he was the main prize. How could he resist? To himself, he laughed. How can I enjoy all this money and not enjoy the girls too? So while Clarissa warned him, "Don't cheat on me," Kwaku smiled and lied through his teeth. By day, he was the obedient boy toy of a wealthy queen. By night, he was the campus ladies' king, sneaking into hostels, taking girls to parties, and spoiling them with money that wasn't even his. He was cautious. No photos, no risky texts, nothing that could trace back to Clarissa. To his friends, he bragged, chest high, "Me, I day chop double life. I get my sugar mummy way day, dash me money, and I still day flex with campus babes. Life sweet." For months, the game worked. He thought he had mastered it. But secrets have legs. They never stay still forever. One of the girls he was seeing, a fair-skinned level 200 student, couldn't keep him hidden. To her, Kweku wasn't just another boyfriend. He was the dream guy who drove a car, spent freely, and drew envy from other girls. She wanted the world to know he was hers. So, one evening, she posted a selfie with him on Instagram. Just one picture, but it was enough. Kweku didn't notice. But Clarissa did. Scrolling her phone late at night, she froze. Her chest tightened. Her face remained calm, but her heart was fire. There he was, her future husband, the boy she had fed, clothed, and built, smiling with another girl. She didn't cry. She didn't shout. She just stared at the screen, lips curling into a small, chilling smile. And in that silence, something inside her shifted. She whispered to herself, "So, this is how you want to play me?" She closed her phone and went to bed. But from that night, Madame Clarissa began to plan. The next morning, Kweku woke up like every other day, stretching lazily in his furnished apartment. He didn't sense the storm already brewing over his head. Clarissa had seen everything, but she wasn't the type to fight with tears and begging. She believed in silent revenge, the kind that shakes a man's bones. She didn't confront him immediately. Instead, she acted sweeter. When she called, her voice was softer than usual. When they met, she gifted him a brand new gold wristwatch, smiling as though she hadn't seen the betrayal on Instagram. Kweku, foolishly, thought he was winning. "This woman loves me too much to ever suspect," he told himself. He laughed with his friends, convinced that he had mastered the art of double life. But Clarissa was a businesswoman before anything else. And business taught her one thing. When your investment begins to leak, you don't patch it, you replace it, and you make sure the loss never repeats itself. She started gathering information. Quietly, she paid 2 security guards on campus to monitor Kweku's movements. She bribed one of his closest friends with cash to feed her details. Slowly, a complete picture of his lifestyle emerged. His secret meetups with girls, the nights he claimed to be studying but was at parties, the lies he told her on the phone. Every single detail, Clarissa stored. Meanwhile, Kweku continued sinking deeper into his pleasures. Now more campus girls flocked to him. Some loved him for his flashy car, some for the way he bought them gifts, others for the aura of big boy he carried. They didn't care where his money came from. All they saw was a young man living like a prince. Kweku was reckless. One night, he even took 2 girls to the same club Clarissa often visited. He thought she would never be there on a weekday, but fate works strangely. Clarissa's cousin happened to see him that night, arm around one girl, another dancing on his lap. She didn't say a word to Kweku, but the news flew straight back to Clarissa by morning. By now, Clarissa was boiling inside, but she refused to act hastily. She wanted her revenge to be slow, deliberate, unforgettable. So she set her trap. One weekend, she called him sweetly. "Kweku, baby, let's travel to Accra for the weekend. Just the 2 of us. I've booked a suite at a 5-star hotel. You'll love it." Kweku's eyes lit up. Trips with Clarissa meant shopping, fancy dinners, and fun nights in luxury. He grinned and agreed without hesitation. But what he didn't know was that Clarissa had already contacted the hotel staff. She arranged cameras, discreetly set in the suite. She even invited a close friend of hers, a private investigator, to stay in the same hotel, watching everything unfold. The trip began beautifully. They drove in her Range Rover, music blasting, laughter filling the car. At the hotel, champagne waited on ice, the suite decorated with rose petals. Kweku felt like a king. He showered her with kisses, played his part well, and bragged to himself that he had Clarissa completely wrapped around his finger. That night, she pampered him. Expensive wine, room service massages. Kweku thought he had hit the jackpot once again. But deep inside, Clarissa wasn't smiling for love. She was smiling for evidence. The next morning, she excused herself, claiming she had a business meeting in town. She left him the hotel room key and some money for shopping. Kwaku, free and careless, saw this as the perfect chance to call one of his side girls. "Come over, baby," he whispered on the phone. "I'm in a big hotel. You'll love it." Within hours, his side girl arrived. They laughed, ordered food, and eventually fell into each other's arms, completely unaware that hidden cameras recorded every touch, every kiss, every reckless word. That evening, Clarissa returned, all smiles. She pretended not to notice the faint traces of another woman's perfume in the room. She cooked him dinner, kissed him gently, and acted as if everything was normal. But inside her purse, the memory card containing his betrayal was safely tucked away. For weeks after, she said nothing. She still spoiled him, still gave him money, still played the role of the doting lover. Kwaku, proud of himself, grew even bolder. But then came the blow he never expected. One Saturday evening, Clarissa invited him to a private dinner at her mansion. The table was set with candles, fine wine, and a 3-course meal. He thought it was just another night of luxury. Halfway through the meal, Clarissa excused herself and returned with a projector remote. With one click, the living room wall lit up. And there it was, his betrayal, playing in full color. Video of him with the side girl in the hotel suite. Every laugh, every kiss, every moment of passion, all of it recorded. Kweku's fork dropped. His body froze. His mouth went dry. Clarissa didn't scream. She didn't weep. She just sipped her wine slowly and asked, "So, Kwaku, is this the girl you want to replace me with?" Her calmness was worse than anger. It was the silence before a storm. And Kwaku, for the first time, realized this game he thought he was playing so well had just turned deadly. Kwaku sat frozen in his chair, sweat dripping down his forehead. The projector continued playing the footage, exposing him in all his foolishness. He wished the ground would open and swallow him whole. Clarissa, however, remained calm, almost too calm. She set her wine glass down gently, her eyes never leaving his trembling face. "You think I'm stupid, don't you? You think because I gave you money, clothes, a car, and a future, you could turn me into a fool? Kwaku, I built you. Everything you flaunt on campus, your shoes, your car, your perfumes, they are mine. And yet you betray me." Kwaku stammered, words fumbling from his lips. "Clarissa, baby, it's not what it looks like. I swear. She means nothing to me. You're the only one I love. Please listen." But Clarissa raised her hand, silencing him immediately. The calm smile never left her lips. "No, my dear. Tonight, you will listen." She clicked the remote again. The footage disappeared, replaced by photos, screenshots of his text messages, his late-night sneaky calls, even pictures of him at clubs with different girls. Every single lie he thought was hidden stood boldly before him. Kwaku felt his chest tighten. How had she gathered so much? How long had she been watching him? Clarissa leaned forward, her voice dropping lower. "You see, my darling, I don't waste my investments. When I spend, I expect loyalty. I warned you, didn't I? That after graduation, you were to marry me. But, clearly, you thought you were smarter than me." Her tone shifted, colder than ice. "No one plays me and gets away with it." Kweku's hand shook. He tried to plead. He fell to his knees beside her chair, clutching her legs. "Please, Clarissa, forgive me this once. I'll change. I'll cut off every girl. I'll prove to you that I'm loyal." She looked down at him, pity flickering in her eyes, then fading instantly. She slowly removed his hands from her legs and stood tall. "It's too late. You made your choice the moment you touched another woman." With a snap of her fingers, the mansion doors opened. 2 security guards entered, men twice Kweku's size. They didn't speak. They simply waited for her command. Clarissa picked up her wine again, swirling it calmly. "Take back the car keys. Collect every piece of clothing I bought. Remove him from the apartment. And tomorrow, cancel his tuition payments. From today, he is no longer my responsibility." Kwaku gasped, his voice breaking. "Clarissa, please. You can't do this. How will I survive? I have nothing without you. She finally turned to him, her face unreadable. Exactly. That's the lesson. Without me, you are nothing. And that's what you'll go back to being. The guards dragged him out as he screamed and begged. His expensive watch slipped off his wrist. His designer shirt ripped at the shoulder. His sneakers scuffed on the marble floor. Everything he thought defined him, status, wealth, power, was stripped away in seconds. Outside, the mansion gates slammed shut behind him. For the first time in months, he felt the sharp sting of reality. He was back to being ordinary Kweku, the boy who once begged for airtime, the boy who had nothing but a smile and sweet words. That night, he slept on a friend's couch, staring at the ceiling, haunted by the memory of Clarissa's cold eyes. He thought about how quickly greed had destroyed him. And Clarissa? She never looked back. The very next week, she was seen at a charity gala, dazzling in diamonds, laughing with wealthy businessmen. To her, Kweku was just a minor inconvenience, a lesson learned, a warning to never invest too much in ungrateful boys. But to Kweku, the scars would never fade. On campus, people whispered about him. The once proud Chairman Kweku was now broke, abandoned, and mocked by the very girls who once fought to be in his car. He tried to rebuild, but the shame followed him everywhere. Some nights, he sat alone, replaying her words. Without me, you are nothing. And he finally understood. In chasing pleasure and greed, he had lost the very future he once dreamed of. Moral of the story: greed is a trap that blinds the young. When you build your life on lies, the foundation will always collapse. Kweku thought he was in control, but in reality, he was only a puppet dancing on the strings of a woman far wiser and stronger than him. In the end, he learned the hard way that wealth without discipline is nothing but a curse.